Hi students, we were discussing about the ratio analysis. In the previous class, we were discussing about the ratio analysis, introduction part of ratio analysis, and we started with the types of ratio analysis. In the first type of ratio analysis is the liquidity ratio. Under the liquidity ratio, we have discussed about the current ratio and the quick ratio. With the continuation, we are moving towards the types of ratio analysis in today's class. And now, number second one is profitability ratio. Profitability ratio. The word profitability is different from profit. Profit is the excess of revenue earned over the cost incurred, and as such, it is an abstract term. Profitability is the ability of a firm in earning profit. It is relatively and it is related to the income and the profit of the organization. A firm's profitability is related with both sales and investment. Profitability deals with the profitability ratio in relation to sales and the relation to investment. Here, there are types of profitability ratio which is used in measuring the ability of a company in earning sufficient profit. The types of profitability ratio, number first one is gross profit ratio. The gross profit ratios are calculated in order to represent the operating profit of an organization after making necessary adjustment pertaining to the cost of goods sold. The formula used for the calculation of gross profit ratio is gross profit ratio equal to gross profit divided by net sales into 100. The gross profit ratio is always used to represent the operating profit of an organization. Operating profit. Operating profit is the thing which establishes the relationship between cost of goods sold and other operating expenses on the hand and the sales on other hand. Here the operating profit will deals with the gross profit to find out the cost of goods sold, and the formula for the gross profit ratio is gross profit divided by net sales into 100. Now, net profit ratio. The net profit ratio is calculated in order to determine the overall profitability of an organization after reducing both cash and non-cash expenditures. The formula used for the calculation of net profit ratio is net profit ratio equal to net profit divided by net sales into 100. The net profit ratio establishes a relationship between the net profit, that is after tax, and the net sales. This ratio is always used to measure the overall firm's profitability. The profitability is calculated and it is measured with the help of net profit ratio. And the next one is operating profit ratio. Operating profit ratio is used to determine the soundness of an organization and its financial ability to repay all the short-term and long-term obligations. The formula used for the calculation of operating profit ratio is operating profit ratio equal to earning before interest and taxes divided by net sales into 100. Here in this operating profit ratio, this operating profit ratio is always used to maintain the relationship between the cost of goods sold and other related operating expenses along with the sales. The operating expenses with the sales will give you the cost of goods sold calculation, and with the help of cost of goods sold with the operating expenses we are able to find out the operating profit ratio. In the formula itself, operating profit ratio equal to earnings before interest and taxes divided by net sales into 100. And the next one is return on capital employed. So return on capital employed is used to determine the profitability of an organization with respect to the capital that is invested in the business. The formula used for the calculation of return on capital employed is earning before interest and taxes divided by capital employed. Here, this return on capital employed is purely used to determine and identify the profitability of an organization with respect to the capital that is invested in the business. Here, the capital which is invested in the business will determine the profitability. If you are investing more, the risk is high. Based on the risk, you will get your return. This concept is employed along with the capital in the business concept, and the calculation that is used for return on capital employed is earning before interest and taxes divided by capital employed. And now we are moving with the third ratio called solvency ratio. Solvency ratio can be defined as the type of ratio that is used to evaluate whether a company is solvent and well capable of paying off its debt obligations or not. Here, the solvency ratio. This solvency ratio is used to measure the com whether the company is able to settle and pay off all the debt things, whether they are able to meet the obligations of the firm or not. Solvency refers to the ability of a firm in meeting its long-term obligations. So the solvency ratio is always related with long-term obligations. By solvency, we mean long-term solvency of a firm. This is because liquidity means short-term solvency. So liquidity will always refers to short-term solvency, and by solvency means we will go with long-term solvency option. Solvency ratios are those ratios that are calculated to determine or to test the firm's ability to meet its long-term liabilities. The long-term liabilities of a firm includes bonds and debentures, long-term loans from banks and financial institutions with the long-term creditors. The solvency position of a firm can be determined and tested with the help of the following ratios. So they are debt equity ratio, proprietor ratio, fixed asset ratio, fixed asset to long-term fund ratio, capital gearing ratio, current asset ratio, interest coverage ratio, and finally solvency ratio. Number first one, debt equity ratio. This debt equity ratio is calculated to the extent of outsiders fund and shareholders fund used in acquiring the asset for a firm. This debt equity ratio means you will extend the fund to the outsiders and shareholders to acquire the asset of a firm. In other words, It is calculated to measure the relative claim of outsiders and owners against the asset of the firm. This debt equity ratio is also known as external internal equity ratio or debt to net worth ratio. This debt equity ratio indicates the relationship between the external equities or the outsiders fund along with the internal equities and shareholders fund, and this is used to define a ratio between the debt and shareholders fund. And an ideal debt equity ratio of an organization is always 2 is to 1. The formula for debt equity ratio is total debt divided by shareholders fund. Here, the total debt is divided by shareholders fund to find the debt equity ratio. The next, interest coverage ratio. Interest coverage ratio is used to determine the solvency of an organization in nearing time, as well as how many times the profit earned by that organization will be capable in absorbing the interest related expenses. Here, now, in this interest coverage ratio, the interest that is nearing the profit and that is capable to meet all the interest related expenses are covered under this interest coverage ratio. All the interest aspects that indicates the relationship between the interest expenses that bear with the uh, interest of assets and fixed dividends will be calculated under this interest coverage covering ratio. And the formula for the interest coverage ratio is earning before interest and tax divided by interest expenses. As you all know how to calculate the earning before interest and taxes, EBIT, that is divided by interest expenses. All the expenses that are related to interest is known as interest expenses. So that is what it is done under the interest coverage ratio. And the next one is turnover ratio. Turnover ratios are used to determine how efficiently the financial assets and liabilities of an organization have been used for the purpose of generating revenues. The turnover ratio, in the turnover ratio, it is purely used with the financial assets and liabilities of the organization, and how the profits are generated by using this concept. These are all the things that is discussed under turnover ratio. This turnover ratio is always used to calculate the profitability position of the organization. The profitability position of the organization is always measured with the help of turnover ratio. And under turnover ratio, we have the following ratios that is to be covered. That in that the first one is fixed asset turnover ratio. This fixed asset turnover ratio is used to determine the efficiency of an organization in utilizing its fixed asset for the purpose of generating revenues. In the business organization, if the fixed assets are used to generate a revenue, or if any revenue is generated from the fixed asset, then that concept is known as fixed asset turnover ratio. And we have a formula to calculate this fixed asset turnover ratio. Fixed asset turnover ratio equal to net sales divided by average fixed asset. So what is the net sale? And that is to be divided by average fixed asset. This is how we used to calculate the fixed asset turnover ratio. And the next one is inventory turnover ratio. The inventory turnover ratio is used to determine the speed of a company in converting its inventory into sales. Here, the inventory turnover ratio is also known as stock velocity ratio and stock turnover ratio. And these are all the stock turnover ratio and the stock velocity ratio are the other names for inventory turnover ratio. This ratio indicates whether investment in inventory is efficiently used or not. So the investment which is made on the inventory is efficiently used or not is calculated under inventory turnover ratio. It indicates the number of times the stock has been turned over during the period, and as such it evaluates the efficiency with which a firm is able to manage its inventory. Here the formula that is used to find out the inventory turnover ratio is cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. The cost of goods sold is identified by sales minus gross profit, and the cost of goods sold is identified by opening stock plus purchases minus return plus all direct expenses like wages minus closing stock. Average inventory formula, opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. This is how we will identify the inventory turnover ratio. And the next ratio is receivable turnover ratio. Receivable turnover ratio is also known as debtors turnover ratio or debtors velocity ratio. This receivable turnover ratio is used to determine the efficiency of an organization in collecting or realizing its accounts receivable. This debtor, it is also known as debtor turnover ratio. It indicates the velocity of debt collection of a firm. In simple words, it indicates the number of times average debtors are turned over during a period. So what are all the average debtors receivable that is made during the particular year is calculated under the ratio called receivable turnover ratio or debtor turnover ratio. Debtors should always be taken at gross value. Hence, no provision for bad and doubtful debts to be deducted from them in calculating the debtor turnover ratio. The receivable turnover ratio formula is net credit sales divided by average receivables. So this is what the formula to calculate the receivable turnover ratio. There in the earning per share calculation. I hope you students could have understood about the types of ratio in this today's class. And with this, we'll close the today's class. Thank you all. And if you have any queries regarding the classification of ratios, you can post in the chat box. Thank you once again. We'll meet by tomorrow.